heard EA got bought out by like a Saudi Arabian company? Is video game Electronic Arts to be bought in largest ever private equity buyout valued at $55 billion. 55 billion? Like, would that be? Oh my god, okay. Okay, so it says here, Electronic Arts, the maker of video games like Madden, NFL, Battlefield, and The Sims. Oh god, I love The Sims. God damn it! Why does that have to be that IP? No! Being acquired by an investor group, including Saudi Arabian Sovereign Wealth Fund, in the largest private equity-funded buyout in history. The investors, who include a firm managed by Jared Kushner, President Donald Trump's son-in-law? What? And the private equity firm Silver Lakes Partners value the deal at $55 billion. What? Oh my god. EA stakeholders will receive $210 per share. So like the country bought it. That is, I believe. Saudi Arabia's Sovereign Wealth Fund is a public investment fund established in 1971 to manage the kingdom's investments and drive economic diversification. It's one of the largest sovereign wealth funds in the world with estimated assets of I'm sorry, this is the largest number I've ever seen. $941 billion as of October 2025. The PIF plays a central role in achieving Saudi Arabia's vision of 2030 goals by funding key projects in sectors such as infrastructure, technology, healthcare, tourism, renewable energy, and in real estate. It is chaired by the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and operates with administrative independence linked to the Council of Economic and Development Affairs (CDA). I've never heard of this before. Okay, so the country of Saudi Arabia is essentially buying EA games. Okay, this is okay. Okay, all right. I mean, okay, like, honest to God, 2025. Sometimes you're just like, okay, you're in 2025. Let's just coast. Let's just coast into the new year. October's like, no. Saudi Arabia is buying EA games. Okay. All right, let's continue. Okay, EA stakeholders will receive $210 per share. The deal far exceeds the $32 billion price tag to take Texas utility TUX private in 2007, which shatters records for leveraged buyouts. PIF, which was currently the largest insider stakeholder in Electronic Arts, will be rolling over its existing 9.9% investment to the company. The commitment to the massive deal is in line with recent activity in the gaming sector by the Saudi fund, wrote Andrew Marrock of Raymond James. Saudi PIF has been a very active player in the video game market since 2022, taking minority stakes in most scaled public video game publishers, and also outright purchases of companies like ESL, Faceit, and Scopely Hero. The PIF has made its intentions to scale its gaming arm, Savvy Games Group, clear, and the EA deal would represent the biggest move by some distance. PIF is also a major investor in Nintendo. What?
Did you like it?
The deal needs approval from national security regulators on the Committee of Foreign Investments, given that the Saudis are involved, but there are plenty of reasons to expect this will go through. Not only does Trump's son-in-law want to do the deal, but the president could also be inclined to look favorably on any Saudi investments because he has benefited directly from their spending. His family business has been paid by Saudi-backed Live Golf for hosting its tournaments at his clubs starting at difficult time years ago when the PGA Tour pulled out of events at the same venues following the January 6th siege of the Capitol by Trump supporters in 2021. How deep does this go? What? The U.S. agency leading the Foreign Investment Committee, the Treasury Department, did not immediately respond to a request for comment about potential conflicts of interest. If the transaction closes as anticipated, it'll end EA's 36-year history as a publicly traded company that began with shares ending its first day of trading at a split adjusted 52 cents. The IPO came 7 years after EA was founded by former Apple employee William Tripp Hawkins, who began playing analog versions of baseball and football made by Stratomatic as a teenager during the 1960s. CEO Andrew Wilson has led the company since 2013 and will remain in this role, the firm says Monday. Electronic Arts would be taken private, and its headquarters would remain in Redwood City, California. Kushner, the CEO of Affinity Partners, says, "I've admired EA's ability to create they're certainly iconic, lasting experiences, and as someone who grew up playing their games, now enjoys them with his kids, I couldn't be more excited about what is ahead." The size of the video game market has attracted large investors in recent years.
No!
Yeah, what? Right? One of EA's biggest rivals, Activision Blizzard, was snapped up by technology powerhouse Microsoft for nearly $69 nice billion. Oh no, in 2023. While the competition from mobile game makers such as Epic Games has intensified. This marks a second high-profile deal involving Silver Lake and a technology company with a legion of loyal fans in recent weeks. Silver Lake is also part of a newly formed joint venture spearheaded by Oracle, involved in a deal to take over the U.S. oversight of TikTok's social video platform. Right? I'm like, this sounds weird. Although all the details of that complex transaction haven't been divulged yet. By going private, EA will be able to retool operations without worrying about market reactions. Although its video games still have a fervent following, EA's annual revenues have been stagnant during the past 3 fiscal years, hovering from $7.4 billion to $7.6 billion. Only $7 billion. Oh, boo-hoo. I am so sad. Let me blow my nose into these dollar bills. Mike Hinkey of the Benchmark Company thinks that its proposed deal of $210 per share offer price might be falling short of EA's intrinsic values. No. Oh, no. Somebody spritz me, please. With Battlefield 6 about to launch and a pipeline that could add more than $2 billion in incremental bookings by fiscal year 2028. The true earnings of power of EA is only beginning to emerge. Oh no. Hinkey is unsure if the transaction is in shareholders' best interest. The board decision to recommend a sale of $210 per share suggests a prioritization of near-term certainty and legacy over maximizing long-term shareholder value, he wrote to his clients. But Nick McKay of Freedom Capitalist Market believes that the offer makes sense for EA because the share price appreciation... you know who needs... Is caffeine shortage here? I feel like if anyone understands shit, it's caffeine. All right, no, caffeine shortage is probably making this deal. From Nick McKay of Freedom Capital Market believes that the offer makes sense for EA. A share price appreciation is likely limited given that success of its sports franchises and various live service streams are already mostly baked into the stock. The financial backing and resource of the investor consortium should enable EA to increase its focus on long-term growth opportunities that may have been viewed as too risky or expensive by a public company. Ah, interesting. He wrote an analyst note. EA share rose 4.5 on Monday after jumping 15% on Friday when reports of a possible takeover began to circulate. The deal is expected to close in the first quarter of fiscal 2027. Okay, so we still have some time. All right. It still needs approval from the EA shareholders. Like, I don't know. Doesn't this seem like, I don't know, what's that word? Conflict of interest? Isn't there like a conflict of interest here? But I don't know. Maybe I don't know how that works, but... Holy moly guacamole. Okay, Edge Runner says at this point the AAA industry needs to crash. Like, yeah, like I feel like it is kind of, I don't know, like it is kind of crashing a bit. I don't know. Like, what's the last AAA game you bought and you're like, oh yeah, this is the good shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, like, I don't know. Right? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Sean says, I believe EA got saddled with $20 billion worth of debt for the buyout. Yikes, what? Oh my god, that's crazy. Caffeine says, private equity is a massive thing these days. A full buyout means the company will more likely than not get capitalized for full tax purposes. Reality is, this is a minor blip, but we will probably not have EA in 5 years. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay. Cannibalize, not capitalize. Oh, cannibalize. Okay, like I'm eating itself. Okay. Okay, all right. Thank you very much. Okay. EA is kind of meh. So if it gets cannibalized in 5 years, will anyone be truly upset? Caffeine says basically they will buy out EA, run it into the ground, repurpose its assets and debt, and use it as a $50 billion tax write-off. Sheesh!